Well, hello there and welcome to Measure 12. What secrets have we in store today? I don't know, let's take a look. Now, if we go on to Measure 12, it's not going to make a nice loop back to the beginning of the song. Listen to this. Oh, I don't like my fingers there. Ah, right, not a good transition. Why not? Well, we're introducing a note that is going to would form the center of a G minor chord, except we're using the sixth note in there, like that. So, got the G or the B flat. It's gonna make it not sound so nice. I should do that with my right hand. So let's start with the G with your pinky, and then your middle finger on B flat, because the middle finger would be on B. And it's the longest, so it actually has the easiest reach up to that spot. But of course remember that you can be up in the middle of the keys too. And then the reach isn't a problem at all, you just hop right up into the middle. And then the right hand thumb, oh, I was going to put the right hand thumb on E, but actually I want to use the left. Oh no, I was saying, you know what I mean. I need to put my right hand thumb and actually use my right hand thumb. There we go. And then the pointer finger on G. And then the pinky on C sharp. Now if you're not slid up into the keys, getting that pinky into its spot is going to be quite tricky. You can go so high as to get the thumb, so it's by the black key here on E. And then remember, your thumbnail rubs up against that key very nicely and it slides well. So it's not going to catch on the way down. It makes it easy to press that note. And remember, the thumb is thinner this way than if it's that way, right? Then the pointer finger easily fits right between these, and then the pinky can reach its C sharp nicely. This is important. This measure by itself is kind of nice for a really dramatic kind of tense thing like that, right? It seems like that's the beginning of or it maybe is the same chord structure as the beginning of the Appassionata section from the third movement of the Moonlight Sonata. It starts with this like clang, 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 and it might be that chord. I'm not really sure. Sounds something like that though. Okay, so now let's try 9, 10, 11, and 12 in a little bit of a practice loop. Shall we go back to 9, starting with A, C, E, G, regular C. The normal C, the natural C, C natural. And then we're going to take our shift down to 10. Remember to do the thumb-pinky substitution there. And then down to D, F sharp, and C. Again. And then 11 is going to move up. I shouldn't just hop like that though. I should try to pull this along. G, B, still on D. Now back down to G here. And I think I want to use my middle finger there. And now, if you wanted to go back to the beginning, that would be the spot. But if you want to keep going, you're going to kind of be committed to the next few measures, which is what we're going to work on next. So number 12, G, and then B flat, E, G, C sharp. So this measure is tricky because it uses a B flat and a C sharp. So from B down a key, and then from C up a key. And that's where, if you did end here, it just kind of sounds fun. It's not a very good ending at all. It's kind of a terrible ending if you were going to stop right there. People would be really tricked from this really beautiful thing you started with. And then, all of a sudden... Ah! Why would you do that to your listeners? I don't know. Maybe you're pulling a prank or something. Musical joke time! Okay. That's all we're going to do for right now, because if we're going to keep going, we have to go into the next part to complete this idea. It's no good on its own, so let's see what lays ahead. But make sure you've got this down real comfortably first, and if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. I'd love to hear how you're doing. Let me know what you think. Give yourself a round of applause.